Usually find myself getting very triggered by certain conversations, especially when I'm trying to convince someone of an ideology or something that I believe in, and they have a completely different perspective from me, And I always leave those kind of conversations just wondering to myself, how can someone believe in whatever they believe in? It never used to make sense to me. But life is life, right? I found myself experiencing certain things that kind of like open me up to actually understand that other person's perspective. So, this video, if you've ever found yourself just wanting to shake someone out of their quote unquote ignorance, thinking that you know better than them, which is also a form of judgment, I'm going to be sharing a perspective that can actually help you transform how you handle those kind of disagreements, not just with strangers, but with people that you love most. I'm going to show you why the very belief that you're defending right now might be one that you might actually change in the next couple of years or even months based on how or the kind of lessons or experiences that the universe throws at you. But first of all, introduction. Hi, my name is Eva. I'm a certified soul alignment and quantum flow practitioner, both of which are two powerful modalities that I help clients to release the emotional wounds, the old patterns, the beliefs that no longer serve them, that have been keeping them stuck, the memories of their traumas, and all of that are still recorded within their cell, within their body, and all of that. How to clear it out so that you can actually tap into your authentic self expression. Who are you supposed to be? Who are you meant to be before the world started telling you to live a life that was inauthentic to your soul expression? This is what these two powerful modalities can actually help you with. But more on that at the end of this video. So if you're curious about these two powerful modalities, stick until the end. I'm going to be sharing more on that. Let's go back to today's topic, about certain conversations that I have with certain people's loved ones most of the time, where I love engaging in philosophical arguments with people just because I like understanding people and why people do what they do and why they think the way they do. It's kind of like a passion of mine just to help myself understand the world around me, which is actually the basis for why I do the work that I do. But there are certain conversations, especially about beliefs or certain values that I hold so dear to me. And when I'm having a conversation with someone else and they're just not getting it, it kind of like puts me in a position of judgment. So judgment is something that I've been talking about so much on this channel, especially in the last couple of videos, because it's something that I think a lot of us struggle with, me included, and I'm currently going through my process of learning how to release the judgment and just trying to identify different angles, different perspectives, just to help with this, help this and the way that I interact with the world. So again, if this is one of your struggles, this perspective can actually help change or help you navigate this issue if this is your current issue, right? So judgment, right? When other people are not able to understand your perspective or believe in whatever it is that you believe in, right? What I've found in my own experience is that there are so many things that, for example, I will say for my own journey right now, with the things that I do right now, especially with the work that I have with my clients, the kind of information, the kind of knowledge that I've been tapping into. I often shared on my channel that if you gave me this information as little as 5 years ago, I would have thought you were just out of your mind. Because I never used to believe in this. For me, it actually, anyone talking about these things back then, I thought it was too out there. I didn't understand it. I didn't want to understand it. It's only when I started my journey, my of healing, transformation, all of that, and now all of a sudden I'm getting to discover teachers and teachings that just blow my mind every freaking day. And because I've been working so much on the internal transformation, releasing the blocks, the wounds, and all of that. And the more I do that, the more I raise my vibration, and the more I'm able to expand my ability to hold certain truths within me that 5 years ago, I will never have actually even entertained that. So, in my own experience, I've come to find that sometimes we hold on to certain beliefs because A, you're not a vibrational match to that information. So, it doesn't matter how many times you try and explain to someone a simple concept like, I'm trying to find a beautiful analogy for this. Like, for example, trying to explain to a kid that if you believe in Santa Claus, right? This is something that they do in the movies, right? Trying to explain to a kid that Santa Claus doesn't exist. And this is something that probably they've grown up with and believing in that concept of, Santa Claus coming every Christmas and giving them presents and all of that. And trying to explain to that kid that that's actually a figment of your imagination that doesn't exist. And yet they know that to be true because up to then, whatever age they're currently in, that's all they've been exposed to. That's the magic, that's the wonder that their parents or their guardians have have been imprinting on them in a sense, right? So I want you to put yourself in that kid's perspective that when you're trying to push certain ideologies to certain people, they have no ability to conceptualize or even see the world the way that you do. It's not possible because that's not their lived experience. What they've known and believed to be true in their life, especially if they're so attached to those belief systems, and they're holding on tight that anything that threatens that feels like they have to survive and they have to protect their ideals no matter what, it might be hard for this person to actually understand the angle you're coming from. And same also comes to us, right? There are certain things that people say and do that we just don't get because we haven't walked a mile in their shoes. So it's impossible for us to understand. And what I've found is that sometimes the universe puts me in certain situations where I just come into my own aha moment and I'm like, get it now. I get why they believe in the things that they do. And that's happened to me multiple times, which is one of the reasons why I'm doing this video, because every single time I always think like, there is no way I'm ever going to understand that concept. The universe has a way of just sending me the right lesson at the right time just to help me understand why certain people believe in the things that they do. I might not necessarily be convinced to agree with their ideologies, but I usually get to a point where I actually develop a deeper understanding as to why they believe in the things that they do and why they do what they do. So if you allow yourself to let go of holding on so tightly to your beliefs and needing other people to do the same and letting people be who they are, even if it doesn't make sense to you. I mean, just think about how much having that kind of value, that kind of ideology, or just letting people be who they are, as long as they're not interfering with your path, as long as they're not interfering with your safety or trying to deny you access to anything, right? Just letting people be who they are and believe in whatever they do. Because literally, it doesn't actually affect you. So why do we need other people to believe in what we believe in? And again, this is something I've also shared in my channel so many times. It's that, we carry certain genetic coding of our ancestors, when we used to survive in the wilds where, holding a perspective that was different from your community or your tribe would have meant that you would be exiled, and exile meant death during that time because there was nothing else. You needed the tribe to survive. We're not living in those times. So I get it. It's part of our genetic makeup, but we can certainly start letting go of that idea that we need the people around us to believe in the things we do for us to survive. If the current group you're in does not believe in your ideologies, then go out and find your people. But don't impose your ideas on them. If you can't coexist with them, don't make them believe in what you believe them or in believing, attacking their sense of whatever they know to be true for themselves, because that's their lived experience. Can you learn how to just respect that? You might not understand, you might not agree, just respect it. Don't always have to be. And believe me, something I've also shared on this channel so many times is that can you imagine a world made of everyone is just you? Like there's no other version of, I'll just use myself as an example, that everyone I'm talking to, everyone I'm experiencing life with is just me. Well, obviously, on a spiritual level, we have this concept that we are all one, right? We're not talking about that. There's beauty in this individual uniqueness that each of us has to bring to this world, but we never see that. We never see the beauty in our uniqueness. And I know we always get this need to want to find other things which are similar to us, which is well and good. But there's a beauty to being surrounded by people who actually hold different ideas from you, who hold different perspectives, because there are certain things and certain blind spots that you have that another person who hasn't walked a mile in your shoes might be able to see way before you tap into that on your own. But if you're needing them to be just like you and think like you, then everything, all those blind spots will continue to be blind spots because you're not able to perceive different perspectives, see it from different angles. So there's a beauty in the differences and the uniqueness that every single one of us brings to the table. So the next time you're having ideological arguments with people, it can be about politics, it can be about religion, it can be what, no matter the conversation, let go of this need of wanting them to believe in what you believe in. Even if to you it doesn't make sense why they follow certain paths or they believe in certain people, even if you don't get it, just respect them. That's their life truth. They have their reasons for doing whatever it is that they're doing. And again, remind yourself all the time that you haven't walked a mile in their shoes. Because sometimes chances are maybe the choices that they're making, if you were given the same set of circumstances and lived the kind of life that they've left, chances are you will probably make the same choices as they did. It's only that you haven't experienced yourself. And I can tell you the same. Like I can give you so many examples for me. So many decisions that there are certain questions people ask you or hypothetical, like if this was to happen to you, how would you respond to it? And my egoic mind is always like, I will never do that. You know, the judgment, right? I will never make that decision. And then I usually find myself in that situation. And lo and behold, I'm making the same choices that I was busy judging the previous moment. And life has a beautiful way of handling you. So once you tend to have many of those experiences, it just tends to put you into this deeper level of understanding that you don't know everything. You don't know what you don't know. And if you haven't walked a mile in someone else's shoes, you don't know what they know and why they're making the choices they're making. So again, normalize just letting people be who they are, even if it doesn't make sense for you. And again, think about how many divisions that we currently have in the world. We have so much disunity, so many people just attacking each other, both online, physical, and all of that, because people can't see beyond the perspective that they hold on to so dearly. So imagine a world where everyone is adopting this mindset that instead of trying to impose our beliefs on someone else, you instead choose to just try and see through the lens of their eyes, whether it's right or wrong. So instead of immediately rushing to judgment, which trust me, I don't think you would want to be on the receiving end of that. No one likes that. You instead learn to have a bit more compassion and understanding for whatever journey someone else is walking through, someone else is experiencing. How beautiful will the world be if we could all just allow each other to do whatever it is that we want to do? Want to believe in these religions? Fine, then so be it. Like, but let's not impose it on another person, right? You want to believe in this political party or idea or person for whatever reasons you're supporting them, then so be it. You have a reason to support that person, but let the other person also support whoever they want to support. What makes you think that your path and the way you see the world is the only absolute truth? That's not true. It's not true. It's a very subjective truth. It's only true to you. It doesn't have to be true to anyone else. So just because you see the world the way you do does not mean it's actually right. It's only different and very unique to you, shaped by your specific experiences that, remember, no one else has lived. Now, and please keep in mind that I'm not saying don't set your boundaries where you're allowing people to do whatever they want with you just because you're very accepting. Set your boundaries. If at all you're choosing not to follow a certain path and you have your own reasons, respect the other person's path, but do you. Honor your values, honor your beliefs, honor your truths. The only thing I'm saying is that don't go attacking another person for them choosing whatever path they want to follow. Think of what kind of world that will be. So I'm going to leave you with this. A beautiful practice or a way you can just help yourself to integrate this truth into yourself. So something that I always, and I do my best to remind myself of this anytime I encounter someone else who has a belief that I just don't understand, I always just remind myself, I may not understand it now, but I'll get it eventually. And you know what? It always happens. The universe has a beautiful way of sending me experiences that will help me understand why that person chose that path. Okay, so that was it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Do subscribe to my channel if you like the kind of content I share out here, and click on the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any time or, anytime I actually post any kind of content. So I'm going to leave you with this reflection question based on what you've talked about. So I want you to think about a perspective that you're holding strongly to right now. And I want you to ask yourself, just try and visualize yourself in the next 5 years, or even look back at your last 5 years and ask yourself, are the kind of beliefs that you have right now, are they the same beliefs that you had then? Or has something happened to you that caused you to change that perspective? And if that's true, what about the beliefs you're holding on to right now? Can you question on whether they are actually true? Are they actually serving you? Can I lean on whatever any other perspective, any other people's beliefs that are around me? Can I try and adopt this belief system into my own, make them my own, in a way that will actually support me to move forward? Start questioning whatever it is that you're actually holding to be true. Sometimes we hold on to beliefs that don't actually support us, don't actually help us move the needle. If they're not serving you, can you gather or learn from other people and their beliefs, their perspectives, their experiences, and see what you can adopt from these different people and try and incorporate them to your own, taking new action and just seeing what you're able to create if you just allow yourself to let go of whatever it is that you're holding on so tightly to. And once you start experiencing that for yourself, it will actually make it easier for you to actually give the same grace to other people as well. That is what I love for you to reflect on after listening to this. So if this perspective actually resonates with you and you're actually ready to do some kind of deeper work around this, releasing the judgment, learning how to cultivate more compassion for yourself and others, and finding peace, even when people are disagreeing with you, I'm going to invite you to actually explore my 6 weeks program, one-on-one, where I'm actually going to be coaching you one-on-one with the modalities that I actually mentioned at the beginning of this course. So that's quantum flow and soul alignment. So in this transformational work that we're going to be doing in the next 6 weeks, I'm going to help you identify the patterns that might be triggering or might be triggered by this kind of beliefs that you're holding on to. I'm going to help you release the energetic to need to always be right, and also the energetic hold that this belief system have on you, so that you can now start creating beliefs that actually support you in creating the kind of life that you want for yourself. So another thing we're going to be doing in the next 6 weeks is that I'm going to be helping you reconnect your inner guidance and help you find your own truth, anchor into your own truth without needing the world to explain to you, tell you who you are or what you're supposed to believe in. So finding your own internal compass. Then helping you release whatever is actually blocking you from tapping into this version of yourself. And then we're also going to be rewiring your nervous system so that any moment you're encountering these triggers from your environment, you're able to actually handle them better from a place of groundedness and not constantly allowing people to just trigger certain responses from you. Because sometimes some of the responses we have towards our people is actually based on our years of accumulated trauma and emotional wounds of having certain belief systems within us that are still recorded within our cellular system. And most people, when they're doing their healing work, they rarely handle the body aspect. They just focus on certain mind sets and all of that, which is well and good. But with actually these two modalities, we can actually help accelerate the release of that. So if this actually sounds good to you, and you're actually ready for this kind of deep soul level work that will create lasting change. So this is not just a one-off thing. This is something I'm going to be giving you tools that will help you navigate the rest of your life and constantly releasing all these things that do not serve you. If you're curious about this, I'm going to invite you to book a discovery call with me. You can find the link to that in the description box down below. I hope I will see you on the other side. So thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you on the next video. For now, sending you so much love and blessings. I will see you on the next video. Bye for now.